Lewis Hamilton has finally broken his silence, and what he shared about his working relationship with Ferrari's race engineer Riccardo Adami has caught everyone at Maranello off guard. This isn't just a casual update or a short interview after a race. We're hearing from a seven-time world champion who's chosen to speak out after weeks filled with rumors, tension, and confusion about how well the driver and engineer were connecting. Since Hamilton made the switch to Ferrari at the beginning of 2025, fans and experts have been closely watching every interaction. Not only because it's Hamilton, but because there seemed to be a lack of smooth communication between him and the team, especially over the radio. The Monaco Grand Prix was a turning point. Signals were unclear, messages were vague, and after the race ended, there was an uncomfortable silence. At one moment, Hamilton asked, "Are you upset with me or something?" And Adami didn't reply. That moment seemed to expose the hidden cracks in Ferrari's setup for all to see. People started guessing. Was there tension behind the scenes? Was Adami struggling to meet Hamilton's style and expectations? Was Hamilton already doubting how Ferrari was running things inside? Now, just before the Spanish Grand Prix, a race that could greatly influence Ferrari's season, Hamilton has spoken up. His response surprised many because instead of adding fuel to the fire or blaming someone, he did something more honest. He acknowledged there have been challenges but also stood up for Adami. He addressed the rumors and sent a message that goes beyond just one engineer or one race weekend. This is about trust, leadership, and the fine differences that separate champions from the rest. Right now, Hamilton is balancing carefully between being diplomatic and showing his disappointment. The fact that he needed to explain his relationship with Adami in public reveals a lot about what's going on inside Ferrari. The main problem at Ferrari right now is that they're not functioning as a solid unit. Instead of planning ahead, they seem to be reacting too late to situations. In Formula One, this kind of approach often leads to trouble. So if you thought the whole story was just a small misunderstanding, it's much more than that. What Hamilton shared changes how we see things, not only about his connection with Adami, but also about Ferrari's future chances for the title, and whether the team is really prepared to support a driver of Hamilton's experience aiming for another championship. Think about what happened in Monaco. Hamilton was led to believe he was pushing for a podium finish. However, the instructions he received didn't come with clear information like target positions or the exact gaps to other drivers. Without that, he raced hard, pushed the tires, and tried to change his pace to stay competitive. But all this effort didn't match reality because, in truth, he was stuck in fifth place, far from the leaders, and catching them was no longer possible. Imagine being in Hamilton's place. You've joined Ferrari, a team known worldwide for its rich history. You left behind a familiar environment at Mercedes, where everything worked like clockwork, to take on a new challenge. Instead of feeling empowered by the change, you find yourself uncertain about the true situation on the track every lap. That's not just frustrating, it's damaging, especially for someone like Hamilton, who has built a reputation on reading races better than anyone else. What makes this even clearer is how Hamilton responded to the rumors. Yes, he rejected the gossip as nonsense and defended Adami. But if you listen closely, he didn't say the communication was flawless or that their system was perfect. He mentioned that they're still learning about each other and adjusting. 8 races into the season in F1 terms, that's a long time. By now, a driver and his engineer should be in sync. Despite all the technical issues, the bigger concern is how this affects the team's overall performance. Ferrari seems hesitant to admit just how much these communication problems impact the race. Even when the results on paper look decent, like a 5th-place finish in Monaco, the experience from inside the car tells a different story. Hamilton's frustration shows that the information flow between him and Adami isn't as smooth as it needs to be, and that's a serious problem for a team aiming to win championships. Looking ahead, the upcoming Spanish Grand Prix is shaping up to be a critical test for Ferrari. It's not just another race on the calendar. It's a moment where the team's ability to lead and perform under pressure will be examined. The entire structure of the team, from the engineers to the management, will come under scrutiny. The pressure to get things right couldn't be higher. Charles Leclerc has publicly supported the idea that the team and drivers need to share a clear vision. Ferrari has also promised important upgrades to the car, and the new aerodynamic rules set by the FIA could shake things up across the field. Still, none of these changes will matter if the foundation of trust between Hamilton and Adami isn't solid. Without that strong connection, all the improvements and hard work risk being wasted. Hamilton's recent comments weren't the confident, reassuring statements many expected. Instead, they were careful and measured, hinting at deeper issues beneath the surface. This tells us that in Formula One, good communication and teamwork aren't fixed with interviews. They're built with results on the track and mutual understanding. In the heat of competition, Hamilton's words have quietly held up a mirror to Ferrari. By speaking carefully and choosing his words, he has pushed the team to reflect on their own inner workings. This includes how they communicate, make decisions, and manage their processes. The real question is whether Ferrari is prepared to support a driver of Hamilton's caliber, someone who demands clear, consistent information and flawless execution every step of the way. This isn't just about the relationship between a driver and an engineer anymore. It's about whether Ferrari can live up to the expectations they set when they signed a 7-time world champion. That contract wasn't just a commitment to a star driver. It was a promise of a new era, one where Ferrari would rise back to the top as a dominant force. Right now, those dreams feel fragile. The problem isn't speed on the track, it's precision off it. If Ferrari wants to silence critics and build confidence, the Spanish Grand Prix will be their moment to prove it. The communication must be flawless, the engineering decisions must be spot on, and the partnership between Hamilton and Adami must finally show that solid trust the world expects from championship-winning teams. If they fall short, this weekend won't just be disappointing. It could mark the moment when doubts start to grow about the entire Hamilton-Ferrari project. This story is bigger than just two individuals. It's about whether Ferrari can still lead, not only on the track but behind the scenes, where championships are won and lost. If you think this is just another bit of paddock chatter, think again. Hamilton's recent statements have ignited a fresh debate within the paddock and among fans. The spotlight is now firmly on Ferrari, one of the most successful teams in F1 history, as they face a critical test. Everyone will be watching closely to see if the team can respond effectively to the pressure. The Spanish Grand Prix isn't just a race. It's a moment where Ferrari's leadership and team dynamics will be judged. The entire organization, from the pit wall to the garage, must work flawlessly. Every detail counts, from pit stops to strategy calls. If the team fails to come together, it won't just affect this race. It could have a ripple effect for the rest of the season. Hamilton's history speaks for itself. He's known for his calm under pressure and his ability to pull races out of tight situations. But even the best drivers rely heavily on clear, timely communication from their teams. When that's missing, the whole operation suffers. The way Hamilton and Adami handle their relationship during these next races could set the tone for the future. It's clear that the coming weeks will be crucial. Ferrari must find a way to tighten their teamwork and deliver consistent, high-quality support. If they do, it could reignite hope for a strong championship fight. If not, it could signal deeper troubles that may be harder to fix as the season goes on. As the season moves forward, all eyes will be on Ferrari and their ability to handle the challenges ahead. For Lewis Hamilton, this chapter is about more than just races. It's about trust, teamwork, and proving that he can still compete at the highest level with the right support. The coming events will show if Ferrari can provide that foundations, or if cracks will continue to grow. One thing is certain: Success in Formula One isn't just about speed or talent alone. It's about how a team functions when everything is on the line. Hamilton's openness, while measured, sends a clear signal that the path forward requires honesty and hard work from everyone involved. The Spanish Grand Prix offers a chance for Ferrari to turn things around and demonstrate that they can operate like a championship-winning team. The pressure is immense, but for a driver of Hamilton's experience and skill, overcoming these obstacles is part of the challenge. So as the lights go out in Barcelona, the story unfolding won't just be about who crosses the finish line first. It will be about whether Ferrari and Hamilton can build the connection needed to make history together once again.